Hello, welcome to Yoga Within Your Home. I'm Melanie. Thanks for joining me today for Beginner Ashtanga. Nice to see you all. As always, Ashtanga is not necessarily practiced with props, but I encourage you to use them because they will help you deepen your practice. Never think of props as making something easier. So let's get started in a seated position. If you need to sit up on the block or blanket for a moment just to get the hips lifted so you can tilt the pelvis, then do that. But just take a moment to connect with you. Eyes open or eyes closed. Become aware of the ground supporting you. And become aware of the breath moving within you. One of the most important parts of Ashtanga is the breath, the Ujjayi breath. Breathing in and out through the nose with the mouth very lightly closed. You'll probably hear a little bit of a sound, often referred to as Darth Vader breathing or the ocean breath. Let your mind follow the waves of the breath. And this gives the mind a place of focus. Try to let all the external thoughts just drift away as best you can. Finding yourself present and here in the now. When you are present within your breath, the risk of injury is lessened because you are mindful. Take one more breath in and one more breath out. Keeping the breath, if your eyes were closed, let them open. Bounce into your knees. Shake it out. Just give yourself a really big stretch and release that and find your way up to the front of your mat into Samastiti or attention pose. So as we move through the standing portion of the practice, the foundation is the feet. So place your feet in a position where the structure, being you, feels supported. Take your hands to heart center. Your gaze or your drishti is straight ahead down the tip of the nose. And take a moment just to reconnect with this foundation, to reconnect with your breath. And if you are familiar with the bandhas or the energy locks within the body, think Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, that connect you to the core or the center, the hara of your body. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, lift the arms and lift the gaze, but just lifting the arms to what feels right for you. Exhale, fold the body forward. If your hands don't go to the floor, use blocks or put your hands on the shins. Now inhale, come partially up. On an exhale, place the hands on the floor, step back to plank, and lower your knees to the ground if you like. As you move through Chaturanga, elbows are in, body lowers. Tops of the feet to the floor. Inhale, come up. Move the body forward. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward dog. And walk this downward dog out. Adjust your foundation, anything on the ground. So move the hands wider if you need to. If your back and hamstrings are bothering you, move the feet farther apart. And let the knees bend. Keep your breath. Your neck, let it hang freely. Your eyes, they're open throughout the practice. As you inhale, bring your feet back between your hands. You end up in this partial fold. Exhale, fully fold. Inhale, come up. If your back, neck, or shoulders hurt, walk your hands up your legs. Exhale, lower the arms back down. Inhale, arms engaged. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the spine. Exhale, step back through plank. Lower the knees, keep the elbows in close, lower through. Tops of the feet on the floor. This is your back bend. It's upward dog, thighs up or down. Exhale, tuck the toes. Send the hips up and back, downward dog. Now, if you feel dizzy or if you know that an inversion, dropping the head below the heart, is not good for you today, blood pressure issues, go to child's pose, stack the fists, and keep your breath. Ashtanga is a strong practice. The idea is to heal the body, not to destroy it. Inhale, bring the gaze and the feet back to the hands in that half fold. An exhalation, fully fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale back to Samastiti. We'll do it one more time. Inhale, arms and gaze. Watch those necks. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, lift the hips, open the heart. Exhale, step back. Don't drop those heads. Bend the knees, lower through chaturanga. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Remember, each posture or asana is here to teach us something. And your job is to find out what's the lesson today. Each time we come to the mat, it's a whole different experience because our bodies feel different. Use your breathing. Try not to be attached to what something looks like. Work from the inside out. What does it feel like? Inhale, bring your gaze and your feet back to your hands. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Let those shoulders be soft. Exhale, Samastiti. Surya Namaskar, be the knees bend. Knees and feet are equal distance apart. Arms up, pinky fingers roll slightly up, shoulders down. Exhale, fully fold forward. Inhale, lift the hips part way up. Exhale, step back. Watch those heads. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, lift upward dog. It's not a push-up, remember. Exhale, downward dog. Your left foot pivots and your right foot comes forward. Maybe you have to help yourself up here. Point the hips forward, lift the arms if it doesn't hurt the shoulders. Otherwise, put your hands on your hips. An exhalation brings you back down. That left knee can go down. You can move the right back and lower through. Inhale, upward dog. Move the body forward. Squeeze the shoulder blades lightly. Exhale, downward dog. Same thing, other side. So right foot pivots, left comes forward. The weight's even on both feet. The hips point forward. Front knee above front heel. Exhale, coming down. You can pivot the foot. Don't hang those heads. I'm watching. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Try to roll over your toes as much as you can. Keep strength and flexibility in your feet. Remember, they support you all your life. Use your breathing. One of the hardest things of this practice is to know sometimes you get your greatest strength from backing off. Our tendency is to push forward into pain. Don't push forward into pain. Challenge yourself. Don't hurt yourself. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fully fold. Bend the knees. Inhale, come up. If the shoulders hurt, hands to hips. Exhale, Samastiti. Same thing again. Knees bend. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step back. Lower through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Left foot pivots. Right foot comes forward. Weights even on the feet. Don't roll to the pinky toe side of the foot. Watch your necks. Exhale, come all the way back down through chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot pivots, left comes forward, breathing in. Front hip back, back thigh forward, weight even on the feet. Breathing out, watch those heads, I'm watching you. Lower through, elbows in close. Upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Long, full breaths. You're given the gift of 5 breaths, sometimes longer, sometimes shorter, but just to discover, what do you need? The idea is to build both strength and flexibility, not striving for flexibility only. Inhale, gaze and feet back to hands. You're in that half fold. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, Samastiti. Last time. Knees bend, inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, hips lift, neck long. Exhale, step back. Watch those heads lower through chaturanga. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Upward dog, breathe in. Downward dog, breathe out. Left foot pivots, right foot comes forward. Maybe you stand up and just find warrior. Exhale, come back down. Do what heals you. Inhale, come up. Exhale, roll back. Right pivots, left forward. Inhale, front hip back, back thigh forward, and clench your teeth and toes. I'm watching. Exhale, come back down. Watch those heads build neck strength. Build shoulder stability. Inhale, come up. Exhale, roll back. Pause in child's pose if you need. Hopefully by now you have a sense of how am I feeling today? What is it I truly need to do to find ease in my body? Not confusing ease with easy. Inhale, gaze and feet to hands. Exhale, fold the body. Bend the knees. Inhale, arms and gaze. Exhale, Samastiti. Padangusthasana, step your feet about hip width apart. Bend the knees, place the ribs on the thighs. If this is as far as you can go, that's perfect. Otherwise, pointer finger, middle finger under the big toes, thumb touches those fingertips. Elbows bend, knees come towards armpits, head drops. Legs begin to straighten as the elbows stay bent. So if there is pain in the back of the hamstrings, move your feet farther apart. A retraction, a bending of the knees, and a straightening will allow you to go much deeper and stretch the entire back side of the body. You can walk it out a bit if you like. Now bend the knees, straighten the arms, and lift the gaze. Padahastasana is to slide the hands under the foot soles so the fingers point to the heel. Bend the knees, bend the elbows, stay there, or drop the head and begin to straighten the legs. Keep breathing. Remember, you want to lengthen the entire back side of your body, from the heels all the way up through to the shoulders and the neck. So let those heads hang. Keep your eyes open. You can walk it out. Explore all the nerve endings in the palms and in the soles of the feet. Now bend the knees, lift the face parallel to the floor, straighten the arms. Place the hands on the hips and bring yourself all the way back up to standing. Samastiti, reset, check in. Uttita Trikonasana, step out wide to the right. Turn your right foot out. Left foot can be at 90 or turn in. Hands to the hips and extend over that right leg. You can keep your hands on your hips. Some of you may need to use a block or a Kleenex box on the inside of the foot or the outside. Adjust the height according to what you need. That left hand can be on the hip or extend up. That front leg, don't block it. Your drishti, your gaze can be up, straight ahead, or down to that right big toe. Keep breathing. Keep breathing. The torso rotates slightly around the spine. The breath is strong. If you're using the block, pick it up in the right hand, come all the way up, and turn your feet. So put the block in the other hand. Remember, in triangle pose, we think of it as a side bend, but we're actually trying to lengthen top and bottom half of the body as equally as we can. If you do feel the back, it's often because we lose this disconnect at the core. So think about connecting right at the center of your body. The idea is to build strength in the neck. So if the head's hanging, bring the neck up in line with the spine. You can definitely turn the head, but turn it to strengthen it, not to put snake bite into it. Keep your breathing. On your next inhalation, bring yourself all the way up to standing. Place the hands on your hips. Now you're coming into Pavarita, the rotation. So your right foot points forward, your left foot's at a slight angle, and your feet, they're kind of like you're on railroad tracks. The body goes part way forward. You draw the right hip back, left thigh forward. You bring the left hand. Now, if you have a block, you can put it up the inside or the outside of the right foot. Your torso rotates slightly around your spine. That right palm can be flat on the sacrum area, straight out from the right shoulder, palm facing the floor, or fingertips pointing up to the ceiling. The weight is even on both of your feet. As you inhale next, bring yourself all the way back up to standing. And beauty of Ashtanga is we do one side, we do the other side. So body's forward, left foot points forward, you come part way. You put a micro bend in the left knee and draw the left hip back. Decide where the block should go, inside or outside, or do you need a block? Torso rotates around the spine. This is a twist. Perhaps one shoulder is above the other. The weight is even on the feet. Where do you need this left arm, and where should your gaze be for the most strength? Keep your breathing. Take one more breath in, one more breath out, and inhale, bring yourself up. Exhale, reset at Samastiti. Uttita Parsvaskanasana, step a little wider out to the right. Turn your right foot out, bend the right knee. Left foot at 90 degrees, or turn it towards the right foot slightly. Now think about dropping the groin straight down. So you may find that this is a really wide stance. For strength, the right knee is above the right heel. Set your foundation. Now start bending over to the right. You can keep the right elbow on the right knee and bring the left arm up and over, elbow by ear. If the shoulder hurts, put that left hand on the hip or rotate it around. Some of you may need the block for the hand, inside or outside of the knee. Build that neck strength. Try not to jam your wrists holding something. You can also extend that right arm out or down. What's best for you, not me? Keep breathing. Lift the arch of both feet. Inhale, come up, and you do the same thing other side. So the feet turn, left out, right in, hips relatively straight, drop down. That'll help you reset your foundation, which is your feet. There's a straight line of energy from that right heel all the way up. You may stay right here, hands on hips, or use the blocks. Again, know why you're doing what you're doing. There's times if my neck is bothering me, I'll take my right hand and I'll support my neck in my hand. Breathing, breathing. The biggest thing is don't do because I'm saying, do because it will benefit you. You want to be doing this until you're my age, 90 years old. Just kidding. Keep breathing. Inhale, come up. Well, you do want to do it till you're 90. I'm not quite there. And now pivot your feet. Right foot forward, left foot turns in. This is the rotation. You bend the right knee. You're drawing the right hip back. Now that left knee can come to the floor. You bring your left elbow to the outside of the knee and the hands meet palm to palm. The right elbow points to the ceiling and you look to the right. Some of you may want to straighten that left knee and be in a rotated high lunge. Some of you will be able to keep that left foot flat on the floor. Know why you're doing what you are doing. How does this benefit you? Take one more breath in, one more breath out, and bring yourself back up to standing. Same thing other side. So you rotate to the left. Left foot out, hips point forward, right thigh moves forward. As you bend the left knee, remember, the stance is quite wide, so as you bend the knee, the foot might scooch forward, but the hip draws back. Don't stick your bottom up in the air and drop your head down. Think groin drops, pelvic floor lifts, torso rotates around spine. Perhaps you get shoulder above shoulder, hips relatively even and square. Gaze to the left, down to the left big toe, or all the way up to the ceiling. Each time you exhale, torso rotates a little bit more around the spine, and your breath is present. Inhale, bring yourself all the way back up, and exhale, reset in Samastiti. Prasarita Padottanasana A, step out wide to the right. Place your hands on the hips. Now bend your knees and place your elbows on your thighs. You may find that this is enough for you. Some of you may want to drop the hands down and then drop the head down. Start walking your hands back, bending your elbows to right angles like I gave you a block to hold between them. You can stay there, or you can begin to straighten your legs. Now, you may find that your feet need to be a little bit wider apart or a little closer together. Lift the arches of the feet.
Squeeze your elbows towards each other like you are holding a block and know that you're doing the work. You can always rest your head on something if that gives you more support, so a block or a blanket. Now bend the knees, take the hands to the hips, and inhale, come all the way up to standing. As you exhale, release the hands by the hips. Lift the arms shoulder height, hands parallel to the floor. Place the hands back on the hips. Pinky fingers are in the hip creases. Bend from the hip creases, send the hips back. If halfway is enough, halfway is perfect. Otherwise, drop the groin a bit, drop the head a bit, and begin to lift the hips. Now, as I lift my hips, my feet move a little wider apart. The outside edges of my own feet are parallel, and I root big toe mound, little toe mound, and the center of the heel. My neck is relaxed, so those of you with the strain in your neck, let it go. The eyes are open in the practice, and you're breathing. From here, you can come all the way back up to standing, or if there's issues in your tissues, bend your knees, place your palms on your thighs, and bring yourself all the way up. Lower the arms to shoulder height. Now, some of you here may find that you would benefit from using a strap between your hands for chest expander. Your feet are still wide, outside edges parallel. You lift the arms so that you can knife your shoulder blades. Don't stick your bottom out. Keep that connection, top and bottom half. Be strong. Bend the knees. Send the hips back. Torso's parallel to the floor. Now, this will show me where do my feet need to be. Lift the arms, squeeze the shoulder blades, drop the head. Bring the arms towards the floor over the head, and then begin to lift the hips. Keep in mind that what is straight for you and what is straight for me will be different. What was straight for you yesterday and might be straight today might be different. In this position, if the head is on the floor, you begin to bring the feet closer together. Often we strive for flexibility and we move our feet farther apart. That does not make it more challenging. Now bend the knees, lift the torso, the face parallel to the floor. Keep those arms lifted. Do the work, bring yourself all the way up, and then release the arms. Drop the straps if you need. Bring the hands to the hips. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, bend, so you're bending from the hip creases. Feel those pinky fingers in the hip creases. Readjust your foundation, your feet. Elbows to thighs. You can stay right here, and that is perfect. Otherwise, pointer and middle finger under the big toes, thumbs touch, elbows bend. Readjust your feet if you need to. If you were on your backs here, this would be happy baby. Now drop your bottom lower, drop your head if you're not dizzy. Point those elbows out to the sides and drop your head towards the floor. The elbows are bending to open the upper back. The legs are strong without being locked. Understand how you use your foundation. Are you actually lifting the arches of your feet? Keep your breath, keep your eyes open. Remember, your breath tells you your story. What is your story? Do you hold your breath? Do you let your mind follow your breath? Now bend the knees, take torso face parallel to the floor, bring hands to hips, and bring yourself all the way back up to standing, stepping back to the front of your mat into Samasthiti. Bring your hands behind your back with the palms touching. Reverse prayer. If that doesn't work, touch knuckle to knuckle or hold your elbows. Remember, it's your practice. Do what's best for you. How do you open and create shoulder stability? Take your right foot, step it out to the right. Your left foot will be turned slightly in and you bend halfway forward. If all the weight went to your front foot, adjust your stance. Draw the right hip back, put a micro bend in the right knee, and if halfway is enough, stay there. And you may even want the block to rest your hands on. If you can go farther forward, go farther forward. If you go forward and lock the front knee, send the hips out of alignment, ask yourself why you're practicing from that place of ego, and back off to find the place where you can start to heal your body. Use your breathing. Your next inhalation brings you up to standing, and you turn around and do the other side. So this is your preparation for balance. An intense stretch of one side of your body. So it's the left side of your body here. Again, halfway forward. Is the weight even on both feet? Big toenail, little toenail, center of the heel. Arches lifting. Toes rest lightly. Neck in line with the spine. So watch those necks. I'm watching you strain them. Be careful. Go all the way forward if you like, but if you've lost your legs, ask yourself, am I strong? Am I stable? Could I hold a block between my inner upper thighs here? Neck is relaxed. Those of you thrusting your chin, let your head go. Slide your fingertips up to where your hair and your neckline meet. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, step back to the front of your mat, Samasthiti, check in and reset. Now you're moving into balance. If you need to use your walls or if you want to use a strap, by all means, use them. Hands go to the hips, weight goes to the left foot, lift your right heel. If this is your balance today, that is great. If you can lift the foot, lift it. If you thrusted that hip, check in with you and lift up out of the arch of the left foot. This is a forward fold. So lean forward, grab the back of the thigh or grab the heel, grab what you can grab and begin to straighten the leg to what is straight for you. Ask yourself if your foundation, your left foot is strong, is your neck in line with your spine, and are you breathing? Are you working both feet equally because one foot is no longer on the ground? Are your shoulders building strength? Inhale, bring yourself up. Remember, hip is ball and socket. Move the hip in the socket, take it out to the side. Are your hips even as they can be for you today? You can always have those toes on the floor. Good, keep breathing, keep breathing. Your gaze goes the other direction. If it's a good day for that, if it's a good day to look straight ahead, that's what you do. Use your breath. Are you building strength? Are you practicing with truthfulness to yourself and honesty to your out of your ego? Bring yourself back to the center. It's an exhalation as you fold. It is a forward fold. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Hands to the hips, extend the leg, point the toes. So if I extend my leg, point my toes and lean back, I'm in a back bend. To find this core strength and the connection of top and bottom half, perhaps today I know I need to lower my leg down, point my toes, drop my shoulders, and energetically rise up along my spine. Keep your breathing. Your mind might say, I can't hold this anymore, in which case bend the knee, retract, move the hip in the socket, and come back into it for a breath or two. Then flex the foot, lower down into Samasthiti, and walk it out. So two sides, our balance is rarely the same from side to side. Shift the weight to the right, lift the left. Check. Start at the feet, move up the structure. If the hips aren't even, reset your foundation. Pick the foot up if you can. Bend forward. It is a forward fold. Don't round at the bottom of your rib cage. Use your breathing. This right hand on the hip or down the thigh. Straighten the leg. There'll be some of you who can hold the foot. No strain in the neck. Those of you straining your neck, why? Drop that hip. This is like the lying down sequence. Keep breathing. Now bring yourself back up. Allow the hip to move in the socket. Take the leg out. I don't know if you could see, but I had to reset my foundation, what I was standing on. Some of you may be able to straighten the leg or hold the back of the leg and retract and straighten. If you do the same thing over and over again, your body gets used to it. The only way to create change in your body is to challenge it a bit. Try something different. If you fall over, does it really matter? And especially, I can't really see you, so bring the leg back to the center. Hold forward as you exhale. Bring yourself back up. Extend that leg. Point the toes. Try to get out of your mind. Get into your body. Feel it. When you need to bend, bend. Don't quit. Bend and then extend it again. Take one more breath. If you are in excruciating pain, then ask yourself, why do you keep holding it, and come out of it. Flex it and release it. Walk it out. Come back to the front of your mat into Samastiti where you reset. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your gaze. We move through a vinyasa, which means connecting movement to breath. Exhale, fold the body forward. Inhale, that half lift. Exhale, step back through plank. Lower the knees, bend the elbows, lower down. Tops of the feet to the full floor. The torso moves through the arms, creating that beautiful arc in the spine, upward dog. Exhale, roll back, downward dog, and walk it out. Bring your feet forward between your hands, coming to chair pose, Utkatasana. Bend the knees, place the palms on the thighs, and stay right here. Same distance between the knees and feet, so they can be side by side, but if that's causing you pain, move them an equal distance apart. As you reach the arms forward, imagine you're wrapping your arms around a big oak tree. Turn the pinky fingers up, draw the shoulders lightly down the back, and lift your arms to where you feel strength in the body, not the greatest stress and strain. Watch your neck. I'm watching you. Roll your eyeballs up in their sockets. Be strong. Unclench your teeth and toes. Breathe. Lift those arches. Sit lower in your chair. Take one more breath in. Exhale, fold your body forward. Inhale, lift the hips, lengthen the neck. Exhale, step back through plank, lower your knees if you like, bend the elbows. Do this to build strength, not to build strain in the neck and shoulders and wrists. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Virabhadrasana A, warrior one, left foot pivots and right foot comes forward. Come up to standing and reset your foundation, which is your feet. The right knee bends, the right hip draws back, left thigh forward. You can breathe here with hands on hips. Or again, the arms go forward, pinky fingers roll up, shoulders draw down. Some of you may find more strength being in this position with the elbows bent. Really doing the work to create the shoulder stability, not being here in an over flexible body. Draw your shoulders down. Warrior postures are strong. Think brave warriors, strong warriors. Now place your hands on your hips, straighten your right leg, and turn around. You do the same thing other side. Set your foundation, which is your feet. Go up your structure, so check out your hips. Then go up and check out your rib cage. Reset your feet, reset the hips, reset the ribs, and then do what you need to do with your arms to find the greatest strength. Your gaze can go up, but the neck is strong, not hanging back with compression. Lift your 10 toes, lift the arches of your feet. Use your breathing. Know that what you're doing is truly benefiting you. Now you bring your hands to your hips, readjust the feet. Your hips point forward between your feet. Left foot points out with the left knee bent. Right foot is at 90 or turns slightly in. If your hips feel like one's higher than the other, try to readjust your feet so you get your hips as even as you can. The knee is above the heel, stacking the joints for greater strength. The arms are parallel to the floor, palms face down, as long as your shoulders don't hurt. Your head turns to the left hand over the bent knee. Keep breathing. Breathing, unclench your teeth and toes. Now straighten that leg and do the same thing on the other side. Know that your body is strong, that you are trying to heal the body, not hurt it. And it takes a lot of work to heal the body and clear the mind. Use the breath, follow the rhythm of the breath, understand the amount of pranayama or breath work that this practice brings us. It is like a moving meditation. Now that back arm lifts, you begin to pivot, square the hips, place the hands down. You can put that back knee down, bring the front knee down, and lower through chaturanga. Lift to upward dog, tops of the feet on the floor. Tuck the toes, move through downward dog, keep breathing. Now you're coming to the seated portion. You can bring your knees down and just sit down or get there. It's your story, so get there how you like. If you are leaning back, and then you bend forward from here, you're crunching at the bottom of the rib cage and truly not lengthening the body at all, or little. So sit up on a block or sit up on a blanket. Get those hips up and then tip your body slightly forward. As you come into Dandasana, flex your feet. A little micro bend or a lot if you feel pain in the back and hamstrings. Your feet might be side by side or again, a little farther apart. The natural curve of your spine and the chin drops down towards the hollow of the throat. The eyes are open. The breath is strong. As you inhale, lift your head, look straight ahead, and exhale, readjust your glutes or readjust your foundation and reach forward. So if you can do pointer finger and middle finger around the big toes with the thumbs touching and the elbows bending, do that. But it might look more like this, holding. You're welcome to use the straps. Remember, the idea is to lengthen the entire backside of your body. It doesn't mean you have to always stay with your knees bent. In time, you work towards straightening your legs. The neck has its natural curve. Your gaze might be rolling to the toes, but that doesn't mean crank the neck and look up. It means roll the eyeballs in their sockets. Now inhale, straighten the arms, lift the chest, press the hips back. As you exhale, either repeat the same thing or take your hands to the outsides of the feet. Draw the pinky fingers forward, press the thumbs into the big toes and press them away. Bend the elbows, fold the body. Remember, it might look more like this, a version of happy baby on the back, working into straightening the legs, maybe in time. Don't get attached to what it looks like. Feel it instead. Try not to think that there's a goal, because as soon as you reach what you think your destination is, somebody will say, well, that's great, but now try this. Inhale, lengthen the spine, lift the chest, the whole second part of the stretch. Release, place the hands down, cross your legs and cross them high. Pull them in, lean forward and lift, working into the core of the body. If a vinyasa is in your practice, then that's what I suggest you do. Bend the knees, put the heels on the floor below the knees, lean back, bend the elbows and lift the chest. Lift the bottom off the floor. So right now you can see my knees are in front of my ankles. If it's not causing you pain, there's nothing wrong with it, I guess. But the body is stronger if the joints are stacked and the foundation's wider. Do the work, don't just hang out. Neck is long, so if you need to look to the ceiling, look up, but don't just hang that head. Build strength, truly know what you're doing and why. Is the weight even on your foundation, which is both hands, both feet, 10 toes, 10 fingers? Lower yourself down with control, cross the legs the opposite way. Spark. If you vinyasa, the vinyasa would be to move through chaturanga, lift to upward dog, and roll back to downward dog, walking it out. And bring yourself back down onto your mat. Move into Jana Shirshasana A, where the left leg is straight and the right foot comes in. Make sure the weight is even on both glutes. So this is a forward fold. Sit up on something if you need. You can always use the straps here if that's better for you. Keep your breathing. So front hip back, back thigh forward. Some of you will hold the feet. Some of you will have your hands interlaced. The left toe mount forward, the left hip back, torso rotates slightly around the spine, shoulders are even. Know why you're doing what you're doing. What are you doing with your right foot? Now inhale, bring yourself up. Release, left leg is straight, draw it in, spark. Get those bottoms up without dropping your heads down. Switch sides, right is straight, left is in. Body fold, so right hip back, right toe mount forward. A tiny twist in the low back. All twists are not from the low back, that's where this one starts. If it doesn't feel like work, then you need to change it. Or, maybe today is just a day where you're happy to be on your mat and you just want to breathe, and that's fine too. Keep your breathing. Try to have the weight even on both sides of the body, not all on that right hamstring. And bring yourself up as you breathe in, release, cross, spark, and move into Marichyasana A, left leg straight, right knee bends. Try to get the weight even on everything connected to the ground. Bring the right shoulder to the inside. You can stay here, right here, with your hands in prayer, moving the shoulders apart. Or you can bring the right arm around the right leg, bring the left hand behind the back and grab your hands. Or some of you will have a strap in your right hand. Bring the strap around and grab the strap with your left hand. You do want this right shoulder moving back. Shoulders are in a straight line. So if you were looking down at your mat, and that they might not be in a straight line, but think, I would like them to be there. If your head's hanging, get your neck up in line with your spine and fold forward from the hip creases first. Now inhale, come up. Left hip back, right hip forward, hips even, shoulders down, release. Drop the right knee, draw the left in, spark, and now switch sides. Right leg is straight, left knee bends. Left shoulder to the inside of the knee, and this might mean you need to wiggle that left foot out a bit. Bring the hands together, palm to palm, neck in line with the spine. Or if you're using a strap, you can have it in the left hand, bring it around the back, and hold it with the right. Don't be afraid to wiggle and move in the postures a bit. Fold forward from the hip creases, and you might get a deeper forward fold by bending that right knee. Your left foot can be turned out to the left slightly. But think about that action, right hip back, right toe mound forward, shoulders moving apart to build the stability for the closing sequence that we do on Fridays. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, release. Your right leg is straight. Bring it in. Alternate how you cross and spark. Don't drop those heads. Now you're moving into the twist. The left leg is straight, the right knee bends. If I try to twist from here, the twist is in my upper neck, actually, and then my upper back. But if I allow my foot to move so I can twist low back, mid back, upper back for this particular twist, the weight is even on both glutes and the hips point straight ahead. You can always bring the left elbow to the outside of the knee. You can bring the hand around the back, reach under the leg and clasp the hands or use a strap. Notice the head, it can turn to the right even more. But are you turning your head to strengthen the neck or create a sense of snake bite in your neck? Really know, why are you doing what you're doing? Don't do it to please me. Do it to strengthen you. Notice if you're holding your breath. Remember the story of your breath. Bring yourself back to the center. Drop the right knee, cross left in front, lift. And move to the other side. Extend the right. Left foot is on the floor. So if you're leaning back and trying to twist like this, slide the left foot forward, lift up. If the knee's in and the hips lifting, drop the glute and adjust the foot in. This right foot, keep it active as though it was pressing into a wall. Notice the shoulders. Are they building strength at all? And is your chin parallel to the floor? Why are you doing what you're doing? Where are you building strength? Where are you getting stuck? And sometimes we get stuck mentally in our mind. Bring yourself back to the center. You either cross and lean, or you may decide, yeah, I do want to do a vinyasa, so keep the knees down, lower through. Lift up. Often these vinyasas are done, but as we fatigue and get tired, we're injuring ourselves. Do them to reset the body and to build strength. Do them for you. Moving into Navasana, if you're sitting on anything, move it out of the way. If your tailbone does bother you, a little blanket is fine. Heels on the floor, lift up. This could be your Navasana pose. Some of you will be able to lift the heels off the floor. If you're rounding and crunching back, your boat is sinking, so lift up. You can also take these blocks and put them between the knees, dropping the shoulders, lifting the chest. Some of you will be able to extend the arms. Breathe here. Now cross, draw the legs in, lean and lift. Keep breathing. We'll do it again. And if this is where your boat is the strongest, great. Build that core strength. Be mindful here, your foundation has changed. Your foundation is no longer your feet. Rise up from the base of the spine. You're not wanting to compress. If you're using your arms, think pinky fingers roll slightly up, shoulders move apart. If it doesn't feel like the arms are working, maybe they're not. Cross the opposite way, lean and lift. Don't drop those heads. I'm watching you. And come back up. Some of you may find that you can extend your legs. Legs roll slightly in as though you had that block. Lift your chest, follow your breath, roll your eyeballs up, keep your neck long and strong. Cross, spark. If you're moving through a vinyasa, by all means, move through the vinyasa. And now come into Baddha Konasana, butterfly or cobbler's pose. So you're bringing your footsoles together, then you're bringing your thumbs to the balls of the feet and rolling the feet open. The shoulders drop. Now there are two. We're doing just one this morning, so a long back. Keep your breath. You're bending forward from the hip creases. Remember, if you need to sit up on the block or the blanket to get the hips lifted, do that. If you're rounding, perhaps you wanted to leave this one out and go to the rounding. As you roll your feet open, think about strengthening into the ankles, into the tops of the feet, and it's a different movement through the hips. Bring yourself all the way back up. Now you're extending your legs out. As you extend your legs out, again, if you find yourself rounding back, you might be way better off to sit up on this block, lift the hips, tilt the pelvis, and be here with the knees bent. Some of you will be able to reach down the legs, keep the neck in line with the spine. Remember, stay away from the rounding, build the strength. Change how the body functions, moves, create space in the body, space in the mind. You may get the toes. You may find your chins on the floor. Use your breathing. Now lengthen the spine, lift the chest, release. If you are sitting on a block, slide it out now, bend the knees, put the heels on the floor, and you may be right here. Some of you may be able to get the heels off the floor, breathing here. Some of you may be able to straighten the legs, hold the ankles. Some of you may hold the feet. The neck is long and the gaze is up. Breath is ever present. Know why you're doing what you're doing. Now release it, cross and spark. You can either lie down on your back, or if you like, move through your vinyasa, which would be chaturanga, knees down probably, upward dog, tuck the toes, downward dog, and sit down, then lie down. Start with your knees bent, extend your right leg up in the air and reach up and grab the toe. If that's not an option, use a strap. Hold the strap in the right hand. If your back does not hurt, straighten the left leg. If that right hip is hanging up in the air, draw it down. Keep your breathing. If you are able to peel the torso up off the floor, do that. But again, drop that hip down. You can take the left palm and put it on the floor if that gives you more strength. Breathe here. Good, now the head goes down. Just like in standing, you're moving the hip in the socket. So often bending the knee, bringing the knee into the armpit area, and then moving the hip in the socket. You can stay right here. Even just holding the back of the thigh is perfect. Some of you may begin to straighten the leg. Your head can turn to the left if it doesn't strain your neck. And if you do need a little blanket under the head, that's what you should use. Think about your shoulders being even, your hips being even, the core of the body engaged. Bring that leg back to the center, tip the chin, peel the torso up off the floor. Lower the head down, lower that right leg down, pause. If you need to bend the knees, rock it out between sides, do that. Bend both knees, extend the left leg up in the air. Reach up, grab the foot, or use the strap. Straighten the right leg if the back is not bothering you. Draw the shoulders down. Peel the torso up off the floor and drop that left hip. Keep breathing. Chin tips slightly down to create that length in the neck. Good. Torso comes down. Knee bends. And if that is enough, stay right there. It's half a happy baby. Otherwise, take the leg to the left. Straighten to what is straight for you. Open the shoulders. Are they even on the ground? Turn your head. If this right glute is up in the air, you know you are practicing from the place of flexibility, not with your strength and flexibility, and the risk of injury is much greater. Follow the rhythm of your breath. Keep your mind present within your breath. Use your feet. Bring the leg back to the center. Drop the hip down. If you can slide the torso up off the floor, do it. Try to keep the shoulders and the hips even. Torso comes down. Release the leg down. Bend the knees. Bring the thighs to the chest and rock it out. Now, if you have something under your head, slide it out. Place your feet on the floor. We'll come into the hip lifts, which are back bends. If you do the wheel, by all means. The feet are flat, approximately hip width apart. The knees are above the heels. Palms are on the ground flat. Move them out from the hips and roll the shoulders under. Good. Lift the bottom up off the floor, the low back, the mid back, and the upper back. Readjust your foundation. Try not to turn your head from side to side. Roll the shoulders under like you're lightly squeezing a lemon. If the center of the chest, the sternum, and the chin touch, move the chin slightly away and lift the hips higher. Breathe here. Do use your glutes, just don't overuse them or you feel your back, but it is a back bend, so you want to feel that space in the spine. When you come down, upper back, mid back, low back, bottom, pause. Bring thighs to chest if you like. Repeat it one more time. Either repeat the same thing, or there may be some of you who do or have previously learned the wheel, and by all means, you can go up into the wheel if that feels good. Neck is relaxed, breath is present, body is strong. Stay in whatever you're doing for as many breaths as feels right for you. When you come out of it, remember the importance of the pause. It's your time to check in. They are so important to prevent injuries. From here, you can roll to the side to sit up. You can roll up. You can move through a vinyasa if you like, but come into Paschimottanasana to release those back bends. Walk the bottom out a step or two. Draw the shoulders down. If you get a deeper back bend by bending the knee, forward fold by bending the knees, that's what you should do. And it doesn't mean they have to bend forever. Walk the bottom one way, press the heels the opposite. Know that how you grip has a relationship to what's happening in your shoulders. Now bring yourself all the way up. Release. Move through a vinyasa if you like, or come to a comfortable seated position. Keep your breathing, keep your mind present in what you're doing. If you are seated, remember you can sit on those little blankets. You sit cross-legged, half lotus or full lotus. Then you bring your hands behind your back. Some of you may be able to hold your feet. Flex your feet if you're in lotus. Draw your knees towards each other. Tip your chin down. Now squeeze the air out of the lower abdominals and fold the body forward. Breathe here. The eyes are open. Sometimes if you like, resting the head on a block can provide you some support so that you can stay connected from the ground. And you can adjust the height of the block. Keep your breathing. Eyes are opened, thinking Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, rekindling that internal flame. Bringing yourself back up to a seated position, extend the arms, draw the shoulders down, drop the chin down towards the hollow of the throat. Eyes are open. Sternum lifts to chin, chin drops to
sternum, eyes open, the natural curve of the spine. Keep your breath. Lifting the gaze up, placing the hands down. You can also put one block under each hand. Just make sure the blocks are of equal height. Lean forward and lift to Upluti. I know that all of you can take at least 5 breaths. Watch those heads dropping down and your chins thrusting. Keep breathing, keep breathing. You can always lower down and lift back up, smile. Take your gaze to where the floor and the baseboard meet. Lower down. Release your legs. You can either lie right down into Shavasana or bring yourself forward, moving through that final vinyasa, lowering through. Upward dog, move the torso through, open the front body, roll back. Coming back down to a seated position. Now lie yourself all the way down. Take a really big deep breath in, tighten everything just as tight as you can. Exhale, let it go. Find your most comfortable position for Shavasana. And just take 4 or 5 breaths here. Just surrendering the practice. It's like a life cycle. It starts with an inhale, it ends with an exhale. Feel the healing effects of the practice and the pranayama, the breath work that you've done. Being grateful to yourself and grateful to your body. Stay in Shavasana for as long as you feel that you need to stay. Thank you so much for joining me today, sharing your practice with me today. Namaste. Don't forget, if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe to our channel. And I'll see you next time.